Yoruba land. That's coming from the Alafin of Oyo. And Naira to remain stable, interest rates easing in 2026, CBN survey. And new tax laws to boost investment, economic competitiveness. That's from the FIRS. Still staying with the Tribune newspaper. Let's see. Analysts spotlight Nigeria's potential external reserves in 2026. All right, the cable newspaper is next now. Dangote refinery to Nigerians. Petrol price now 739 naira per litre at MRS. Report stations selling above rate. And normal traffic flow returns to Lokoja-Abuja Expressway after military truckers clash. And still staying with the cable newspaper, relief for Nigerian immigrants as UK eases visa rules for foreign prison workers. And Akpabio heads to Supreme Court over appeal court ruling on Natasha Akpoti's suspension. And 130 remaining Niger State school children regain freedom. We'd say thank God for that. And Nigeria, US seal $2.1 billion health deal with focus on Christian-run facilities. And reps protected a broken system by not criminalizing vote buying during party primaries. That's from Peter Obi. And security votes now governors slush funds. Billions siphoned abroad monthly. That's from Olukoyede, the boss at the EFCC. Gridlock traps holiday travelers on Lokoja-Abuja Road. And ICPC invites Dangote over petition against ex-NMDPRA CEO. All right, we move on to the Sun newspaper now. Banks to customers using public Wi-Fi dangerous. Hackers on the prowl. You heard that? Those of you who love a wolf. Public Wi-Fi is dangerous. Exposes your phones, your laptop to danger. Luxury bus operators assures travelers of safe, hitch-free trips. And okay. All right, we move on to this day newspaper now. And federal government secures release of remaining 130 abducted schoolgirls, teachers in Niger State. And still staying with this day newspaper, President Tinubu is saying, I won't sign central gaming bill. It's exclusively states affairs. And NAF, that's the Nigerian Air Force, compensates Sokoto airstrike victims, reiterates commitment to civilian protection. Federal government gives priority to health sector, says 12 million girls have received HPV vaccines. That's from the Minister of Health. Gbenga Ashimi pays condolence visit to family of late Sheikh Dairo Bauchi. We move on to the Guardian newspaper now. Nigeria secures release of 130 kidnapped Catholic school children. And CAF announces $10 million prize for AFCON 2025 champions. That's on sport. And FCCPC warns road transporters against arbitrary fare hike. And tax reform now deepens as civil society demands probe, flags concerns. Diasporan investors drive growth, expose fault lines in real estate sector. Fiscal indiscipline fuels budget chaos, governance gaps. And oil host communities get protection as reps enforce PIA. Still staying with the Guardian newspaper, Dangote launches nationwide PMS sales at 739 naira via MRS stations. And Nigeria records 33 new Lassa fever cases, records 18.2 fatality spike. It's illegal to refer to Wike as national leader of PDP. And police begins 24-hour security across Lagos maritime trade routes. NDLEA naps female drug lord with 23.5 kg of cocaine hidden in children's room. And Navy hands over seized 58 bags of smuggled foreign rice to customs. Police arrest armed robbery suspect with 2 rifles in Ogun State. And Chief of Army Staff commits to Soldiers' Welfare Commission's affordable housing scheme in Ibadan. All right, we move on to Daily Trust now. Traders count losses as fire destroys furniture market in Kano. Troops intercept supplies for terrorists in Borno. And Governor Fintiri administration repays over 50% of inherited debt. And Adamawa State set to empower 100,000 more citizens through Fintiri's business wallet. And DSS arraigns terrorists who gunned down worshippers in Kogi State. Pushback as more lawmakers reject gazetted tax law. All right, we move on to New Telegraph now. Governor Yusuf preaches peace, unity among NNPP members. A delicate critics have delivered across all sectors. And Tinubu affirms press freedom under DSS DG Ajayi. And on defection, stop complaining, you had your time, Umahi tells opposition. All right, we move on to penpushing.com now, and we start here. There's an editorial from penpushing.com. It's on security sector governance in Nigeria, countering terrorism with technology in Nigeria. It's now or never. If you want details of that editorial, go to penpushing.com. And still staying with the paper, Department of State Services Director General pledges to champion media freedom. And there's great news here for all lovers of arts and Nigerian music. Fela Anikulapo Kuti to back Lifetime Achievement Award at 2026 Grammy Awards. That's our own Abamieta. For those of you who don't know much about Fela Anikulapo Kuti, I will implore you to go to Google or go to the library and read up all you need to know about this man who changed the face of music in Nigeria, even when there was no internet in this part of the world, or social media was not this common. Fela Anikulapo Kuti was the man. And still staying with penpushing.com, remaining 130 abducted Niger State pupils regain freedom. And Mojisola Akinsanya, public affairs analyst, to be buried December 23. Those are stories you can find on penpushing.com. We'll take one or two before we go. And this is 1 year I hawked soft drinks on Lagos streets to support my widowed mother, says Governor Eno. And that Governor Moino is the governor of Akwa Ibom State. Moshood Abiola Polytechnic strengthens partnership with German organization to equip engineering students. And finally, on penpushing.com, Nigerian lawmaker Boyega Isiaka presents midterm account of stewardship to constituents. And that's all we can take from penpushing.com this morning. For more stories, head up to penpushing.com, your source of authentic news globally. All right, we take a short break now. When we resume, Mr. Salami is already in the studio. I guess I will end myself a query this morning. Coming, looking at the way the man is looking at me this morning. Well, the newspaper review will resume shortly after this break. Please don't go away.
Hello, Abuja. You are listening to 93.7 Citizen FM, the latest radio station based in Nigeria's capital. Our station seeks to broadcast a broad mix of culture and views with priority given to development programming to enable residents share ideas and opinions, music and drama. At Citizen FM, we believe in progressive talk and solution-driven conversation. Our aim is to build a united Nigeria by bringing people of diverse culture together through communication. Enjoy listening to 93.7 Citizen FM. We are more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life. Hello, Abuja. You are listening to
Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja invites you into a space where clarity meets curiosity, where Nigeria finally slows down long enough for us to understand what's really going on. Welcome to Situation Room, our freshly minted 1-hour deep dive into the nation's socio-political and economic heartbeat. Every week, we take one sector, just one, and break it down with analysis that's objective, insightful, and occasionally sprinkled with a smile. Join Lawrence Umoite for Situation Room on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja every Saturday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sunday at 10 p.m. Situation Room, understanding Nigeria, one sector at a time.
It ain't a man's world. You go, no more sugar and spice. And everything.
Every woman has a voice, and every voice deserves to be heard. Listen to She Factor every Mondays and Wednesdays, 1 p.m. on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. The show that celebrates women of purpose, power, and influence. Join me as I sit down with remarkable women across Nigeria and abroad, sharing real stories, real lessons, and real inspiration. She Factor, where strong women ally.
I am woman, I am fearless, I am sexy, I'm divine. I'm unbeatable, I'm creative, honey, you can get.
She Factor, every Mondays and Wednesdays, 1 p.m. on Citizen 93.7 FM, Abuja.
All right, thank you so much for staying tuned. It's still Super Citizen Newspaper Review on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. And this is the second half of the show where we look at some of the stories in details. And also, this is where we open the phone lines. You can call us on 0903 2229 797. That's 0903 2229 797. You can also call us on 0818 222205. And don't forget that you can send us WhatsApp messages on any of the two numbers. Well, Mr. Salami is in the house. Good morning, Mr. Salami.
Very, very good morning to you, Lawrence.
Yeah, Mr. Salami.
Our Super Citizen listeners.
Mr. Salami is the Chief Operating Officer, Citizen 93.7 FM. And as usual, we will be relying heavily on him as we navigate the stories in the second half of the show. Mr. Salami, we start with the Guardian newspaper. And this story has dominated public space since it broke late yesterday. Nigeria secures release of 130 kidnapped Catholic school children. And authorities have secured the release of 130 kidnapped school children taken by gunmen from a Catholic school in November. The presidential spokesman said Sunday after 100 were freed earlier this month. Another 130 abducted pupils released, none left in captivity. That's according to Sunday Diary. That's the story. That's the long and short of the story, Mr. Salam.
Well, let's begin to continue to thank God that all the students taken into captivity are back. And I hope will be reunited with their family. It is really a Merry Christmas for those families. I am the father, and I know what it means to go through such a traumatic period in one's life. What are the lessons learned from this? That to me is more important.
Retrospect is a complete package of all the major news headlines that went out during the
real
outgoing week.
definition of
The news round is also expected to
is
refresh your mind
doing
about last week, where
the
KPF
same
will
thing
disclose that it received.
every now and then. And
The project
expect
aims to address the
a
shortage of
different
skilled professionals.
result. No, you won't get a different result unless you do things differently. You can't do the same thing as usual and expect a different result. What precisely am I saying? There is the need to rethink our security architecture as it is today. A situation whereby our children will be taken into captivity and all we do is celebrating their release. I am not a pessimist. And I'm not saying that there is no need to rejoice over this. Of course, there is need to rejoice. Because returning them, having them back at home, is far, far better than having them with the beasts. Because that's who they are. They are beasts. Lawrence, my position is simple. Let us be more proactive about security and not reactionary or reactive. A situation whereby we are at the mercy, as it seems, of the non-state actors is not the best for this country.
Trust is clear. Let's stay with what is the capacity of.
Go to them. Take the battle. Be holistic. To wherever they are. And of course, we know where they are. Some of us supply them. I don't mean I salmon salami.
We Nigerians.
We Nigerians. We meet their needs. They have needs. They eat food. They power their electronic
gadgets.
Appliances. They power it. Apparently, some people supply them with diesel or petrol. Energy.
They need medicines.
They need medicine. So, we know where they are. Some people are profiting from this monster. And I keep on saying it. Kidnappers are not ghosts. They are part of us. Or they are one of us. When we are serious, we'll solve this problem. And it behoves on all of us. Why? Security is everybody's business. It's not the business of the security agencies. Alone. No, we must own security. And it has gotten to a level where we do not even need to preach about it again. Because we can now all see the vice or the vices of criminality is telling on us. Quite many people will not travel again now. I read it yesterday that the lawmakers, members of the National Assembly, led by the president, Senate President, Akpabio was begging Mr. President, when the president came to present the budget, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should revisit the order or the ban on the withdrawal of policemen. There are quite many of his colleagues who will not go home. Why? They are afraid.
Afraid of what?
Whatever we feel, let them feel it too. I'll stop at that now.
Okay. Well, for me, I think what the lawmakers are really afraid of, they have been stripped of that bragging right. You need to be in the different constituencies during festive period and see how they terrorize the residents there with their convoy, with their security men, siren blaring all over the place, announcing the arrival of important people and everything. That's what they miss. They are not really missing protection, so to speak, although that's part of it. But the one they miss most is how can they just drive into their constituency unannounced and people don't scamper off the road and then somebody's coming into the village. It's not really befitting. That's not a befitting reception for such an important people from Abuja.
They are addressing the form and not the substance. Why you should brag? You should brag about the impactful projects you have brought to your people. You should brag about how you have made their lives better than it was. I think we have missed it. Let them go without escort.
All right, Mr. Salami, let's move on to this story. And this story generated a lot of emotions when it broke a few months ago. In fact, it was last year. Remember that Nigerian Air Force strike in Sokoto?
Yes.
That unfortunately kills a lot of civilians. Okay, the Nigerian Air Force has fulfilled its promise to compensate the extradited victims, and this is the story. The Nigerian Air Force has handed over compensation to victims and families affected by the accidental airstrike that occurred on December 25th in Sokoto State, delivering the message of the Chief of Air Staff. He expressed gratitude to the governor of Sokoto State for the warm reception and enduring relationship. Speaking on behalf of the Chief of Air Staff, he commended Governor Aliu's inclusive development. He noted that the governor's proactive in response. The governor expressed deep appreciation to the Nigerian Air Force for its unwavering commitment to protecting and caring for citizens. Mrs. Sami, why I picked the story was there was a lot of outrage, justifiably so, but the Air Force said they were really good, although we know that there is no amount of compensation that will bring back the dead ones. But this goes to show that, yes, when institutions make promises or pledges, they carry it out. Before you respond, let's take this story. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir. Please, can you speak up?
Okay, I say good morning to you, Mr.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to Brother Salante.
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
About this traveling withdrawal of police, where that is just off now. That is the real thing. When you want to plant is what you sow. What you plant is what you reap. Whatever you plant, it will come back to you. This government, everybody blame our president. It has been happening for long. Nigeria, they are not doing the right thing. Understand? We thank God. Thank God bring somebody like you, like Mr. Salami, and like some reporters. Now they try for us. Nigeria is getting better. This government is trying. Former government are trying like this. Things are better. Let's pray for the God to continue to help all of you and all of us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for calling. The numbers are 0903 22797. You can also call us on 0818 22205. Mr. Salami, you were about to react to the Nigerian
Yes,
Air
it's
Force.
about the accidental air strike and the compensation. You see, we not agree that no amount of money can compensate or can be adequate compensation for loss of life. But what is more important is concern, to show concern and to respect the dignity of man. To me, that is more concerned. The symbolism of what was done was the major thing that is of concern to some of us. And there is the need for the Nigerian Navy or security agencies to be more circumspect. Because in law, they always say that it's far better for one accused
to go free.
Yes, than
the other way around.
To punish. You see, in life, things like that happen. They call it love what? In military term. It does happen. But there is the need to be more circumspect. That is the way I would say. And we thank God that the governor of Sokoto State, Malam Aliu, was on top of the situation. And we thank God that to a large extent, they have allayed the nerves. But be it as it may, the security agencies need to be more circumspect. We can't continue to lose innocent lives. Even the life that is not innocent. It is not in our place to take life. Because any life lost cannot
be reclaimed or brought back. Oh, well, Mr. Salami, we just like you said, for me, there were a lot of take-homes after that incident. And one of them was the way the Nigerian Air Force handled the issue. You know, in the past, we normally have denials and counter-denials from institution. Oh, we didn't excuse this. But the institution took responsibility for that and offered the explanation and everything. But just like you said, it's such incidences, although you cannot rule them out, but it shouldn't be frequent. It shouldn't always happen once like that. It's something that should be, if at all it happens, far and in between, especially when it affects the lives of civilians. Let's move on to this story on politics. PDP will not fail. Party factions assure Nigerians after meeting with INEC. The two warring factions of the PDP on Friday said the party remained on course and would not disappoint Nigerians. The party's national chairman, Tanimo Turaki, made the statement in a separate interview with journalists after the factions met with INEC. The embattled national secretary, Samuel Anyanwu, also spoke to reporters in a separate interview following the meeting. Mr. Salami.
Well, good. The INEC called both warring parties, warring factions, and explained to them as to the consequences of what was going on in PDP. As torn apart as it is, I still very much believe that with sincerity of purpose, the party could come alive again. And it is good for this country. Why? There is a need for us to have a viable opposition. We have said that on this platform times and times over, that the beauty of any democracy is the freedom of choice. Choices. Nigerians should be given the privilege to choose. And when the ruling party that was in opposition before knows that, yes, there are alternatives, chances are that they will be on their toes. And each and all the parties will be more interested in doing one thing. And what is that? How to deliver the bountiful dividends of democracy to the people. And that is the ultimate. Not just a vehicle to get into power, but a vehicle to serve. And public office, you should know, that is public trust. It must not be abused.
All right, for me, yes, I believe that we need viable opposition in any democracy, but I'm a little bit worried about the INEC chairman, Professor Ampito. Mr. Salami, what's the business of INEC in settling problems between political parties? I don't want him to start what INEC cannot finish. If he moves from that, he's going to move to Labour Party and call this both of them. He will move from that to other political parties. I think INEC should just concentrate with the conduct of election, concentrate in getting their equipment, everything on ground, logistics, workers, trained workers and everything, and just stay out of squabbles between political parties so that INEC doesn't get consumed at the end of the day. It's not the business of the electoral body to see that the two parties are settled. These are people who know the game. They know what they are playing. They know what the game is. They are not interested. Both parties, if you looked at them yesterday, the day of the meeting, they are not interested in all those kind of settlement that INEC is doing. INEC better watch it so that they don't get caught in the crossfire of political parties.
Essentially, if you look at the mandate of INEC, it's election umpire. But you know that Professor Josh Amupito is a very religious person. Blessed are the peacemakers.
Okay. All right. Let's leave it at that. We're still talking about politics, Mr. Salami. Unprecedented takeover, dynamics, implications of APC's dominance of NAS. And this is a story on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. When the 10th National Assembly was inaugurated in June 2023, the numerical gap between the APC and the opposition parties in the parties in the Senate was marginal, as at that time the APC did not command the strength required to exercise a two-third majority on sensitive national issues. As of June 2023, the Senate was composed of 59 APC senators, while opposition parties collectively held 50 seats. This balance meant that a critical matter, constitutional amendment, vetoes, and the rest, the party had to negotiate across party lines. 2.5 years later, the landscape has undergone dramatic changes. As of December 2025, the APC has expanded its numbers to 78 senators, leaving the opposition significantly diminished. The long and short of this story, Mr. Salami, is that the APC has commanded two-third majority, more than two-third majority of the, so effectively in charge of the National Assembly.
Completely. And that is not particularly good scenario. Not
good for who? Is it for you?
For the nation. For the country.
It's good for the party.
The party, no. The interest of the country and what is good for the country, to me, is more important, or should be more important, than what the party considers as goodness. At commencement, it was 59 senators, APC, and the other political opposition party, they had 50. As we speak, the APC has a staggering number of 79 senators. And the other opposition parties are struggling to manage the
remaining 40-something
lawmakers. It only means that with or without the consent of the opposition, whatever the ruling party wants and takes to the Senate goes. That's why whenever Mr. President sends a list of nominees or whatever to the Senate, it is a done deal, sort of. But you see, there is the need for a virile National Assembly to ensure robust conversation and dialogue in such a way that we deepen and enrich our democracy. That is the way to go the world over, and we cannot be different, because ideas must clash. Robust ideas. It is a way of taking legislative duty to the next level. The era of take a bow and go should be over.
All right, okay. So, but Mr. Salami, let's look at it this way. You said that the interest of Nigeria supersedes that of a political party. But if you look at the Senate, the 109 senators are representatives of Nigerians from all senatorial. So we can say that is Nigeria. So if majority of them decides to go to APC, it means the majority of Nigerians have moved to APC for their good. And what do you think?
Lawrence, do these people consult you before they move? You see,
but they always say, in the interest of my people.
That is the fallacy of democracy. And you see, it is indirect rule in a way, because they are presumed to be representing us. But we know the truth, all of us, that oftentimes, in fact, most times, they are representing themselves. That is the truth. You need to talk to Nigerians and ask them a simple question. When last did you see your senator? Are you satisfied with the conduct of your senator at the Allo chambers of the Senate? Does your senator represent you the way you would want him to do? And the answer is no more in the wings. The truth is this: quite many of them are not really representing their senatorial district well.
Okay.
They are just representing themselves.
All right,
that is the truth.
Mr. Salami, maybe because you stay in Abuja, for a lot of Nigerians who stay in their constituencies, when their senators come in, they know, and they rush down there, collect a plate of rice, you are given a bottle of soft drink, and maybe as you're going, you're given something take home. This is Christmas period. constituents are waiting for the arrival of their representatives in Abuja, and they are going to visit them and to get the goodies and maybe a part of the largest. So for those of you who stay in Abuja and grumble about not seeing their senators, well, too bad. All right, let's move on. There's this story that caught my fancy. Olukoyede says security votes now governors slush funds, billions siphoned abroad monthly. The chairman of EFCC has accused some state governors of diverting billions in monthly security votes. He added that the funds are often converted into foreign currency and stashed abroad instead of being deployed to bolster security. The anti-graft agency who spoke on Friday during an annual lecture argued that corruption is the real elephant in the room behind Nigeria's worsening insecurity. Mr. Sam, is this supposed to be news? Are we supposed to say, oh, wow, this is revealing?
Well, let him say it, but we know. If not that you even know better than what he's telling us. But the sad thing is this, and that is really sad. Do you know that they have the immunity, constitutional immunity? Mm-hmm. You cannot do anything. Mm-hmm. And that is not good enough. It only means that there is a need to revisit that section of the Constitution. Mm-hmm. But they won't look at that one. Mm-hmm. In going through the constitutional amendment, they won't look at that one.
Oh, well, it's not the governors that are amending the Constitution. It's our lawmakers.
What I'm saying is that the lawmakers should put their torchlight or searchlight on that area. These are the areas that people want amended. Like the man said, slush fund. And that exactly is what it is. Together with the Bureau de Change and the banks, they steal our money with impunity.
Well, Mr. Salami, you see, for me, this is coming from very senior government officials, so you cannot accuse him of being flippant. It means he knows what he's talking about.
He should know.
That's one. Number two, Mr. Salami, for me, I don't think the problem is with the immunity given to the governors by the Constitution. I think the problem is lack of accountability by structures put in place by the Constitution. You have the State House of Assembly there. You have the Commissioner of, of Finance. You have the Accountant General. You have a whole lot of structures put in place to act as check on the powers of the executive. If these structures are not working, what is the business? If you remove the immunity today, who is going to prosecute the governors?
Of course, Lawrence, let us first make sure that they do not have immunity. I agree that there are, you see, quite many layers of governance are involved. There is no way they could do that without. Exactly. We know, and of course, you two know what I'm talking about.
So that's what we need to tackle.
The FCC will tell you that we cannot touch them. Mm-hmm. Why? And it's true. Mm-hmm. They have constitutional immunity. Protection.
Yes.
So they do. Mm-hmm. So let us remove that one first. Mm-hmm. And now see, so many people are complicit.
Exactly.
They are. I have been telling you that to get money from government is not easy. Mm-hmm. If people do their job.
Exactly.
But they won't. They will look the other side.
I agree with you that to get money, in fact, if they even want to frustrate you, Mr. Salami, you and I know sometimes what we have to go through when we have to do certain things, maybe in terms of finance and getting what is due to us as an organization from government coffers. We know what we go through at the end of the day, simply because some people just want to frustrate your efforts at the end of the day.
They will tell you that it's undergoing due process, and we are working on it. You should understand their language.
All right, before we go, Mr. Sahel, there's this news from the FCCPC warning road transporters against arbitrary fare hike, and that is the FCCPC has warned intercity road transport operators against arbitrary and unexplained fare hikes during the ongoing period. Issued the warning on Sunday in a statement signed by the director. He explained that the organization recognizes that seasonal demands, operational pressure, and other legitimate costs may affect transport pricing, However, consumers are entitled to clear, accurate, and timely information on fares before travel. I'm Mr. Salami.
You see, there are some laws that you don't even need to pass it. And I keep on saying that the forces of demand and supply will always determine what happens. If you have no control, you don't have control over something, what do you do?
And you're issuing directives from
Yes,
the comfort of your office.
Well, please issue it.
Because how do you enforce it?
No, issue
The
it.
man who is in Kefi Park there,
Issue it.
loading passengers who are going to maybe Jos.
Let me borrow your word. Olo talk.
It's sad because at the end of the day, this is what happens, and just like you say, we have no control over what happens at the end of the day. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Salman Salami. Always a pleasure to have you on the show.
It's my pleasure, my brother.
All right, that's our package on the show today. The program returns tomorrow, 7 a.m. bright and early. My name is Lawrence Omoite. Enjoy the rest of your day.